So Israel has asked the Palestinians in Gaza to move away from northern Gaza to southern Gaza. And there's just one question in mind. Why should they move away from their homes? Why do they have to leave their homes and move away to somewhere they might have no access to water, to food, to power, or even to medication? And you must ask yourself this, right? Even before we get to this article that I would like to share with you guys. How come the power supply, the um, water supply, and even the food supply of a place is controlled by another place? How come Israel had control over all these things? How come? And Israel will claim that they have been very fair and they have been very nice to the Palestinians, whereby they control almost everything that goes into Gaza. How is that fairness? How is that really fairness? And even before we continue, because most of the time people will say that Israel did all this because Israel was worried about Hamas and all this and all that. I think we've all condemned the atrocities that has been committed by Hamas. And I have said this on this show that if there is a way that Israel can pinpoint all those Hamas militants or terrorists who committed this barbaric act on harmless, defenseless civilians, Israel should do that. And the international community or Israel can give them the most severe punishment that is allowed within international laws and within the laws in Israel. I have said that, and I have re-echoed that time and time and again, that we cannot live in a society where people appreciate criminal activities. We cannot live in a world when people think that they have the right to go out there and hurt other people. That's not the world we all want to live in. And this must be condemned severely. But then again, Israel should not forget that it takes two to tangle. And when you push people, when you really push them until their backs are on the wall, they will have no choice but to push back. They will have no choice but to fight back. And as Israel keeps on pushing the people of Palestine to the wall, Israel should be well aware of the consequences that will arise as a result of what they have been doing in Gaza. So let's get on with this article. So this headline says 45 killed in Israel strike on Gaza apartment block. That 45 people have died as a result of Israeli strikes in Gaza. And I believe many more of such incidents like this one will come up. As of now, everything is too fresh, right? Everything is still ongoing. And we do not have an accurate account of exactly what is ongoing. I think if we give it some time, we will come to account as to exactly how many people lost their lives. Many more are still to come. And it's something that really saddened my heart because I believe that this fight will definitely end nowhere. There will just be, you fight us, we fight you. You fight us, we fight you. And to what end? To what end? So let's continue. And this other one says, Iran says crimes against Palestinians to receive response from Axis. That Iran is saying that if Israel commit any war crimes against the people of Palestine, then other nations who are friends of Palestine might get involved. And that is what we have all been saying, that Israel, even though they are grieving and even though they have been seriously hurt, should be rational in their response, should think clearly before doing anything, should not adhere to public pressure. The leadership in Israel should have a calm mindset and really thought to themselves, what do they really want to achieve? They must have a clear goal in mind. If the whole idea or the whole point or the main objective is just to level Gaza, then they should ask themselves, after that, what next? Will that bring the security and peace they want in the Middle East? Or will that just radicalize more Palestinians against Israelis? So let's read what this article is saying. Iran's foreign minister says that the continuation of crimes against Palestinians will receive a response from the rest of the Axis, and Israel will be responsible for the consequences. Some Western officials have questioned if there is an intention to open a new front against the Zionist entity. Of course, in light of the continuation of these circumstances that are war crimes, he added, speaking through a translation on television was upon his arrival in Beirut. The Iranian minister said the displacement of Palestinians and cutting water and electricity to the Gaza Strip are considered war crimes. Yeah, I also mentioned this, that collective punishment is a war crime. Depriving people of basic needs for survival, like water, power, medication, constitute a war crime. Collective punishment is a war crime. So Israel must be very careful with how they go about this. Because there's one thing they should understand, and I think they are very smart people in Israel who clearly know about this. The world sympathized with Israel because of what Hamas did, and everyone with a sound mind will categorically condemn Hamas for these terrible, terrible atrocities. But Israel should not take this for granted. Israel should not consider this as a jail-free card and then just unleash havoc and carnage on the people of Palestine. Because if they did that, they will be shocked to see how swiftly this support they now get from the rest of the world shift to the Palestinians. Because no one loves to see people struggle or suffer or die. So Israel must be very, very careful.